Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Enjoying your day. I don't know about you guys, but it already feels like it should be like a Thursday. It already feels like it should be like a Wednesday or a Thursday already. I don't know about you guys. Yesterday was a very busy day, very active day for me. But hopefully you guys all had a really, really good Monday, good start of your week, as we all deserve that. I think that's what I'd like to believe. We all deserve that goodness, right? But man, it's Monday part 2, some of my friends would say. It's only Monday part 2. But nonetheless, it's still an opportunity for those of y'all who may have not had a good, solid Monday, a good start off with for the rest of the week. Still, this is an opportunity to turn everything back around and keep kicking the week in the butt, all right? By accomplishing those goals, by doing something positive with yourself, or an opportunity to just start something new, putting down that drink, putting down those other extracurricular activities, if you get what I'm saying, and just doing something positive for yourself. Anyway, guys, hope you guys are all doing well. Appreciate you guys being here. Okay, now before we go into everything, all right, let me just lower this for a second. Now, before we get into everything here, there's a reason why I'm bringing this story or talking about this again. We are going to kind of go down memory lane like we did on some of the things that we talked about on Sunday. Reason why is because a lot of the stuff that I showed is gone. Understandably, Netflix took some ish down. And I said, hey, I am still going to cover this story. I know some of y'all, a bunch of y'all actually mentioned it in other shows. Also, I got some DMs from people going, hey, please just do it again, or, that kind of thing. So I tried to find something else to talk to you guys about. But this is something real. This is something that just broke just a little bit ago. I was planning on repeating basically what I had talked to you guys about before without all the videos, right? And then this just kind of fell into my lap, and I'm like, oh, okay, great. New, fresh information surrounding a topic that I'm trying to rehash again. So yay. Good news, right? Because I told you guys, this is not over yet. Now, you may not have seen that show, but it ain't over yet. As much as some of y'all think, oh, no, wait, he said what he said. Final nail in the coffin. I don't know. I just don't know. We're going to get into it. We're going to be talking about that here in just a minute. Some housekeeping, guys. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. All right? Hit that like button down below. Your boy's working hard. So if you can, that'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button. I can't emphasize that enough. All right. Your boy's working hard out here in these streets. And of course, also hit that notification bell. Check it again. Make sure it's on. And if you have not been receiving any notifications, turn it off, turn it back on. Hopefully that'll help. Okay. Anyway, guys, we got some things to get into. We don't have a whole lot of time to do it. So let's get into some things. Okay, guys. Again, I appreciate all y'all for being here. I really, really do appreciate it. Now, the thing is of course, we kind of have to go down. We kind of have to take a trip down memory lane one more time. All right. Because I'm going to basically sound like a broken record with what I'm about to say here. But for those of y'all who have been living under a rock, okay? Pun intended, I guess. Chris Rock, okay? Chris Rock was presenting an award at the Oscars last year. Will Smith was up for an award that night. Not the award that that Chris Rock was presenting, but he was there for it was a big night for him. Okay? During his little bit presenting this award, he makes a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. He says, "Can't wait for G.I. Jane 2." Just a little joke. No big deal. He also roasted other people in the audience as well. Javier Bardem and some other people as well. Well, the joke that he made did not make Jada very, very happy. As you can see, Will Smith is having the time of his life in this photo. He's laughing his butt off. He Gucci. He about to win an Oscar. He about to make history, right? But he turns over and he sees the look that Jada is giving right now. And she's basically saying that joke was not giving, not at all. Will Smith sees this. Suddenly his demeanor completely changes. He gets up, walks over to saunters onto the stage, walks over to Chris Rock, and slaps him right in his face. Some people say smack the black off his face, smack the taste out his mouth. Then a few moments later, he went on to win the Oscar for Best Actor in King Richard. Now, there's a lot that went on since then. There's been so much that's been popping off since then for over the past year, because really Sunday, this very Sunday will mark 1 year since this infamous international slap seen and heard around the world. So for a whole year, we've been seeing and hearing different things. All the stuff that's been, all the warts and all, just totally exposed now. Extramarital affairs, August Alsina. Why hasn't Will Smith apologized yet? Red table talk-ish. Jada Pinkett Smith and the dynamics of Will and Jada's relationship. All this stuff just been growing over the past year. But one thing we didn't know is, how does Chris Rock feel about this? We all were obsessing over that. Let's keep it real. We were. All of us. Because it was the most unbelievable display of disrespect I think a lot of us have ever seen on such a huge stage like the Oscars. Again, I've said it a million times, but this ish was translated into, this slap was translated into Japanese. Okay, that's how hardcore this was. The whole "keep my wife's name out ya," that whole thing translated in Japanese. I don't even know what it sounds like. I'm not even going to attempt because I want to be respectful. Okay, but I guarantee you, it must have been interesting to hear in Japanese. But this whole thing was translated in different things, in different languages. Pretty crazy. This was worldwide. Okay, this was Pitbull. Okay, worldwide, Mr. Worldwide. Okay. Anyway, we've all been wanting to hear what Chris Rock had to say. So after that, he went on to a tour called Ego Death. He went on to his tour called the Ego Death Tour. And his tickets skyrocketed, went straight through the roof, right? Of course they did, because everybody and their mama wanted to hear what he had to say. They were all standing outside around the corners, right, around the blocks, waiting to hear what Chris Rock had to say about this slap. But guess what? He goes off on the stage. He goes up on the stage and he goes, "Listen, guys, I know you guys are here to hear me say something about Will Smith and the slap. Merely only a few weeks or months after the actual incident. And he said, I'm not, if you're here for that, you're not going to get anything from me. But nonetheless, he garnered a lot of respect. I mean, let's be real. It's been both sides. But for the side that seems to be more of the popular opinion, he gained a lot of respect and newfound listeners to his comedy because of the disrespect that he received from Will Smith. A lot of people were standing with him in solidarity, being like, how dare Will Smith do that to you? That ain't right. So a bunch of people started showing up and buying his tickets and watching his show. Yes, some of them were hoping that maybe he'd just slip out and just say some sort of dig, right? And I'm sure he had. There's a few moments, there's a few bootleg videos out there where he's thrown out a few jokes here and there, but nothing big. But we all sat there waiting to hear what he had to say. He made great money on that tour because everybody was hoping he would slip up, or at least, just like that mother, and just say something, right? But he never did, until he made an announcement about his live comedy show on Netflix. Of course, we all sat there going, wait a second. Selective Outrage? Uh-oh. And it's live? Uh-oh. All of us, we all felt it in our bones that he was going to come out here and say something. He was going to address it in some sort of way. Had to. The whole world is going to be watching. And, $20 million for that one for that one live show ain't a bad bag. So for a fact, people are hoping that Netflix is going to get their money's worth. So let's jump to that, shall we? Selective Outrage. Chris Rock finally does this last Saturday. People love it. Some people panned it. There was a lot of people that feel some type of way about it. Okay. And of course, I'll put in my 2 cents in a little bit, but we all were at the edge of our seats waiting for him to say something. We wanted him to say just a little something. And he kept it tight. There was a little bit of some trickling of jokes, some breadcrumbs, a mouge-bouge, if you will, of jokes to get us ready for the dessert, right? We got through everything. We got through the main course, and then here comes the dessert at the very end of the show. 10 minutes of just pure, unadulterated roasting. Fire stuff. And I said it in the last show, which got taken down, but I said he went in. I said that Chris Rock destroys Will Smith and Jada in the last 10 minutes of his show. And indeed, he mother-loving did. Now, there's been a lot of backlash off of his jokes, which we are going to talk about here too. That's the one part I didn't get a chance to talk about in this last show. Okay, the one that got taken down, all right? I think the last 10 minutes were absolute gold. Diamonds, y'all. Better than gold. Diamonds. Because it's exactly what we've all been waiting for. And something that he has been waiting for as well. Now, I'm going to play this. I got a clip that I played on Sunday. So I'm going to play that clip again. But I got to cut in and out. I got to be very, very savvy with this. I got to be like a surgeon with this pause button here in just a second. But I'm going to play a little bit of it so you guys get an idea. Because I know some of y'all have already seen this ish. Some of y'all already seen this ish. We all been seeing this. Okay, we've seen these videos. But I have to be a real surgeon with this pause button. So just ride with me. Don't get angry. And also, I'm going to do it in a small video like this. So I'm not going to blow it up or anything. Y'all have already seen this. Y'all, if you're watching the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, World Star, Twitter, it doesn't matter. You probably already seen this video or this clip. And if you haven't already seen the Netflix show, which I should say, definitely go see it because it's worth the watch. Then you behind. That's all I'm gonna say. You hella behind. All right. So let me play this clip. Hit the number one. Let me know you guys can hear this. But let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Now, real quick, thank you. Thank you for the number ones. Let me just say this really quick. As I said in the last stream or in the last show, and it was taken down, unfortunately. Let me just say this. Yes. 110%. Yes. Who does that? Who takes their infidelities, who takes their dirty laundry and puts it out there for everyone to see and judge? Who allows that? What person who's ever been cheated on allows that to happen? Okay? It doesn't make any sense. But let me continue. Again, who in this world, okay, does that? Exactly what he just said. I mean, come on. He had all, like, this dude, okay, Chris, and I said it on the show before, I wonder if he watched my show. I wonder if he watched all the other bloggers and other content creators to get some of this content, or he just used common sense to come up with these jokes. Because if you really think about it, this is everyone's knee-jerk reaction. Why? Even when the red table talk and they're talking about it's 2:00 and I'm faded. Whenever they talked about August Alsina, why? Why talk about an entanglement on your own show? Exploit your own relationship to secure a bag. Emasculate your man. Put shame on your relationship. And that's supposed to be okay for a bag. That's ridiculous. And we all saw the video. We all saw how he was. We all saw how Will Smith responded. He was sweating. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. He looked like an emotional wreck. Period. Now, hold on. Somebody said something. Hold on. I just saw it a second ago. I know you guys are coming in. Thank you guys so much for coming in and all that. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes for me really, really quick. That would really mean a lot. But Keisha Callwood said, Pascal, Chris is a hypocrite. He did the same to his wife. Okay, maybe he cheated on his wife. Maybe he did. But that's not the subject matter at hand. What he's talking about is going on to a show and say that he cheated on his wife and say that he went and had his own podcast or something. So he took his own dirty laundry, took his wife, I guess his ex-wife now, onto a show and say, "How did it make you feel that I was cheating on, that I was cheating on you? How did that make you feel?" Sure, he may have cheated on her. I don't know that's part of his life, but he never did it on a huge stage where everybody and their mama is going to watch. It's a difference between, like, yes, shame on you for breaking your vows. Okay, shame on you for going out and going out in these streets behind your spouse's back. That's not something I ever condone. I condemn that ish. Be respectful. Be a good husband or wife. Okay. But then when you go off and do that and then take it and use it as content for your own show, that's where it's really wrong. Now you're embarrassing not only yourself, but more importantly, your spouse. You're making your spouse look wrong, weak, etc. Whether or not it's a man or woman, doesn't matter. It's embarrassing. And the other thing too is, like, Let's just talk about that for a second. I know we've talked about this at great details, but let's talk about this really quick. When it comes to Jada, she has a huge platform. I'm not sitting here saying that this would have been better, but she could have easily put out a tweet. She could have easily made a statement on her IG. Yes, blah, blah, blah. We're just healing right now, like she did in that when she did after this slap happened. She put out a post saying, "Oh, we're out here healing. It's the time. It's the year of healing," or whatever the BS she said. Right? She could have easily done that, but she said, "No. I got you one better. I got you one better. Come on to my show and let's talk about it." Like what? So that's okay. So this is not a stones and glass houses situation, okay? It's not, and not in my opinion. Not in mine. You have somebody who made the jokes, who made the material for him. He didn't write these jokes. You see what I'm saying? These jokes were already written by the choices that they made. Again, it's one thing to go out there and be like as Chris or something like that, throwing around his and being all throwing out that his wayward D like that. Okay. That it's one thing, and no, that's not right. But it's another thing when you put it onto a huge platform where everybody's watching and embarrass your spouse. That's just not right. That's just not right. So that part I'm going, yo, that's perfect. He's just saying stuff that we all been saying. We've all been saying the same stuff. Again, I keep saying, did he watch YouTube shows? I wish he was watching mine, but he ain't watching mine. Okay? So yeah, he ain't dumb. I agree 110 freaking percent. What he said was a dig at Jada. I understand that would upset if your wife or your spouse is upset by that, you're upset by it, right? But it wasn't a personal dig at him. Not once was it that. Not once did he throw a joke at the Oscars at will. It was just one small joke towards Jada. And he's like, come on, it's a joke. Come on. You know what I'm saying? It's a small little joke. Big deal. Let's move on. He didn't go off and, S some D's. He didn't go, it's 2:00 and I'm faded on him. You see what I'm saying? He's just speaking lies. This is what's crazy about that is, yes, Will Smith chose to try to put his anger and whatever, his selective outrage out on Chris Rock. Now, that's obviously just one small clip out of the whole thing. It's 10 minutes of just absolute comedy gold. It's absolutely something that you got to sit there and watch. I mean, even if you're just watching the last 10 minutes, it's worth the watch, okay? But again, I don't blame Chris Rock for doing what he did and for doing this stand-up. Now, he has been getting some backlash on it. Let's keep it real. People are now trying to turn it into something else and all that. And it's like, yo, these are just jokes. And you're telling me that you were expecting him not to say not a damn thing? Nothing at all? What were you expecting him to do? That's what's so frustrating, because there's so many sides to this, so many opinions that are coming out after this stand-up. Like I told you that this ain't done yet. I told y'all this ain't done yet, okay? That's the only thing, that's the one thing that I think, shout out to Andy from Popcorn Planet, but that's the one thing I would say that I disagree with Andy on when he first was showing the actual last 10 minutes. Like it just broke, he just showed it and all that, right? And he said, well, I think it's over. Like, I think it's a wrap. And I'm like, no, it ain't over, man. No, this is not over yet. There's still more story to talk about. There's going to be people doing what they need. People are going to still stretch this out, and people are still going to be talking about this. Trust and believe people are. Okay. But real quick, Tina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. I appreciate your support. And just like Tina, you can hit that join button down below and become a member. Okay, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Actually, let me put up this still here so you guys can see his face. All right, but hold on one second. I got another super chat here, or I got a super chat here. Kimberly in Japan, what's up? Thank you so much for the 500 yen. I appreciate it. Chris and Will can cook their beef, but his take on MJ was far from gold. Sorry to change the topic. I just need to get my beef out. Love y'all. Okay. Yeah. Of course, when it comes to the MJ stuff, I feel like no one was safe, right? Nothing was off the table when it comes to the jokes. I mean, he was going after Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Aura Kelly, MJ. I mean, he went off on everybody. He went off on wokeness and all this other stuff. He went to town on everybody. So I feel like he just was sitting there going, hey, listen. This is no holds barred. This is live. I'm going to say what I need to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. Now, the thing is that's the problem with the world that we live in nowadays. When it comes to stand-up comedy, we are so hypersensitive. We are so hyper aware with the things that we have going on in our lives, with the biases that we identify with or that we support passionately and all that. There are people out here, as soon as you make one small joke about anything, people lose their doggone minds and go to the Twitters, go to their social medias and try to cancel that person for making a joke. This is comedy. It is a stand-up comedy show. If there was something that he was saying that was absolutely, I feel like we would know. I feel like we would know when something is absolutely offensive and when something is a joke. But it's sad because now there is no gray area anymore. Now it's just black and white, especially when it comes to comedy. It sucks because every single one of them, every single stand-up comedian, those who haven't been involved in some sort of scandal, if you get what I'm saying, Louis C.K. out here, just rubbing it off and all that stuff. That's just wrong. And, he's getting what he got, right? But I'm talking about the guys that just go up to on the stage and are just cracking jokes. It's just that's their job, is to crack jokes. Suddenly, every joke is offensive. Listen, there have been jokes about MJ for I don't even know how long. And don't get me wrong, I am an MJ fan, okay? One of the best entertainers in the world, okay? GOAT, the GOAT. I bow down to this mother lover, okay? That dude he is the GOAT. I don't care. Love his music. I don't care. But people are gonna make jokes about him. People are gonna, hey, R. Kelly, Aura, okay? Talented musician, very, very bad human being. Yeah, he gonna get jokes. You see what I'm saying? If you're part of the pop culture world, yeah, you're gonna get some jokes. Okay? It just is what it is. But there's a world. There's a new sector in the world where it's like the clutch my pearls sector. And every joke is a problem, where they're dissecting every single last syllable that this comedian utters out their mouth. And I don't think that's entirely fair. I do feel like stand-up comedy is becoming a dying breed because of this sector that we live in now. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. There are jokes that are wrong, rude, should not be said, so on and so forth. And some can be racist, sexist, etc. But the backlash he's getting on this here, I don't entirely agree. Or I don't agree. I'm not going to say I don't entirely agree. No, I don't agree. I think it was stand-up comedy at its purest form, except near the end when he was upset. And you can hear it in the last 10 minutes. In the last 10 minutes, he's angry as F because he's been holding this in for a damn near year. A week shy of a year anniversary since he got in the face. Yeah, he's going to be angry. Yeah, he's going to be passionate because he's hoping that by the time he gets done with his final jokes and slams, not even drops that mic, but slams that mic on the ground, that this is like, I said what I said. I'm done with it. Don't ask me no questions about this damn slap. I'm good. Deuces. And damn, does it feel good to finally say what I need to say. But now people are starting to dissect that ish and say even more BS, trying to find some excuses to make him be the villain again, when he's the one who actually got slapped in the mouth. Listen, there are worse jokes. Man, have you ever heard of Ricky Gervais? Have you ever heard of that comedian? Do you realize that he used to host the Golden Globes? He would roast everyone. That dude is so savage. I'm surprised none of those actors go up and smack him, punch him, kick him in the face. Have mercy, that dude is a savage. So he's allowed to go up on the stage during one of the biggest moments, one of the biggest nights for TV and movies. He will call people out, call them P words to their face, talk about the Illuminati, say all this crazy insider behind the scene ish, even talk about the Hollywood Foreign Press live in jokes, by the way. But Chris Rock can't say one joke about a haircut. Come on, y'all. And I know there's going to be people who don't agree with me on that, and that's fine. And don't get me wrong, even Ricky Gervais jokes, I'm like, oh, snap, that's too far. Woo, that's far, baby. Woo! He left the line. He stepped way over the line. He gone. He miles away from that line. But damn, they're letting that online. They're letting that on TV. Wow. All right, then. All right. If that's how it is, that's how it is. But then you have Chris Rock say one joke. And then everyone's like, look at him degrading black women and all that stuff. What? And they're doing that same thing right now with this stand-up as well. They're even trying to turn this into a thing like that. And I'm like, oh my God, come on. Oh my God. It's insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me how quickly people will go on one side or, take a person's side, etc., over another. Yet you'll see another person fully take over, take full advantage of the situation. But small jokes. I'm just talking about the Oscars. Small jokes. Very clean, in my personal opinion. Just small jokes. But of course, later on, he explains in the stand-up that really the beef or the drama that went down was because of OG Patrice, you're absolutely right. No one's more infamous as a comedian than Paul Mooney. And dear Lord, that man, holy cow. Notice that's why you never see him really host anything, because he's just savage. Okay. I've seen specials. I've seen comedy specials where people have his own comedy specials, Paul Mooney, where people have gotten up and left the show because they found his comedy to be so offensive. Really. And he's reacting like, y'all leaving for real? Okay. Bye. I'm just making jokes. I'm just making jokes. But as I was saying, one of the main things, he talks about why there was an original, I guess, the origins of why there was such a rift between him and Jada. And he messed up the joke, but he did talk about how Jada was like, you should boycott the Oscars because her husband, Will, was not nominated for Concussion. And then, of course, he said in the thing, he's like, and then he gave me a concussion. He messed up the joke, but I think it's because he was very passionate, very emotional at that time. That's just my personal opinion. I said it on the last show, but that's dead and gone. You know what I mean? But he said those things, and I think that is why there was such tension years later, because there was the whole Oscars so white. But it really wasn't, in my personal opinion, I think it really was because she thought that his performance should have gotten some sort of nomination in that movie. And have you seen Concussion? It's not good. It's not good. Emancipation's better than Concussion. I will say that. Yet I haven't finished Emancipation. No disrespect, but I've seen Concussion, and it's not good. So I don't see why he would just get a nom just because he black and he's in a movie. That's BS. And because he's Will Smith? Nah, that's BS. Nah. Plenty of movies that Denzel's been in where he wasn't nominated for nothing. I'm just saying. Give me a good movie, Will. Give me a good movie, and I will protest alongside you and go, that movie was the best movie he ever done, hands down. But Concussion? Hell to the no. Hell no. Okay? But he says that. So there was already tension to begin with Jada and Chris. Then he made that little joke. Probably, okay, now, not the best choice now. But that's why he walked up and smacked him in the doggone face. Was it justified? I don't think so. I really don't. Got some super chats. Black Witter, thank you so much for the €5. I appreciate it. Ricky G would eviscerate them with, with it if they hit him. LOL. Yeah, he would destroy them. And the funny thing is that he is the kind of guy who will say things that will you're like, whoa, is that racist? I think that was racist. Oh my God, he just said that. And everybody be laughing. Ricky Gervais will go all the way in. Pedal to the metal type ish. He don't give no damns. Okay? He don't give no damns. Rudy, thank you so much for the $5. I didn't like the MJ joke either, but Chris Rock is a comedian. And it's his job to cross the line. We don't have to like every joke. Exactly. Thank you so much for saying that. That's exactly no disrespect. Okay. No disrespect to the previous super chat. Okay. Now let me just say this. Okay. No disrespect to Kimberly, but the thing is yes. Let me say this. It was a slow start with that show. I wasn't really laughing until near the end. And I'm not saying I was laughing only because of the Will Smith slap stuff. No, that stuff was funny. But I'm saying it took a minute. He warmed up. It took a minute for him to get people, in my personal opinion, at least get me laughing. Some of them, it was funny, but not like guttural, oh, that's funny. So not every joke is going to be a joke that's going to land every time. Some comedians are lucky like that, where they just, every single word that comes out of their mouth is just comedy gold. But that one, meh. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, it's a joke. Moving on, right? And again, I agree. Not everyone is going to enjoy every joke. Like again, the last 10 minutes that everybody's focused on, that we're focused on. Not everybody is going to enjoy the last 10 minutes too. And we will be talking about that here even more in a second here. But Tyler, thank you so much for the 2. Imagine thinking it's okay to slap over a joke. Yeah, that's insane. Okay. Tyler, again, thank you again. Comedy is subjective. Not everybody is funny to me. Absolutely. Man, some of y'all like, oh, I love such and such. He's just he's a comedic genius or something like that. And I'm watching this and I'm like, no, he's not. I'm like, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with y'all. I'm sorry. That is not a funny dude. He is not funny. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just not feeling his jokes, but apparently y'all love it. You see what I'm saying? And then there's some people who are just hands down, universally, just fire. Okay? Just fire. And I also think that there's other comedians out here that are so amazing and they never, still have ever gotten their flowers. Period. We've seen it a million times, okay? We have seen it a million times, okay? And Talvish, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the 2. But outside of all this, actually, hold on, Ghostface. Ghostface said, Ghostface, thanks so much for the comment on YouTube. He said, how would Jada get mad over a haircut? But when she cheated on her husband with her son's friend and acts like she didn't know nothing wrong by Felicia. Yeah, or did not do nothing wrong. Yeah, I agree. Again, listen, none of this would have come out. These conversations, all this stuff, the opinions and all the gossip bloggers and all that, putting out all this stuff on blast would not have resurfaced if it wasn't for Will Smith going up and smacking Chris in the face. If it wasn't for the slap, we would not be talking about their infidelities. We wouldn't even be talking about the entanglement and the Red Table Talk video episode. We wouldn't be talking about that stuff at all. Okay? Real talk. So, let's continue. All right? Now, one of the things that is the main topic here, of course, sorry, like I said, I had to do a little bit of catch up because the last show got taken down. So I wanted to give my 2 cents on that. And one of the other things is that it wasn't entirely funny. It took a minute to get things moving. I think Chris Rock is one of the best. He's a professional. He does his job. And that's exactly what we were there for. We were all for it. We were all here for it. We enjoyed it. We thought it was funny and all that. And I appreciated him doing what he did. One thing I will say too, though, he got a bag. He got 20 mil off this Biz Naive for this. Okay. He got what he needed. I think he won at the end of the day, as he should have. I know some people would disagree on that, but he got the W, I think. There's other people who think that as well. But let's get into this article here, okay? And it says, Chris Rock has never received a personal apology from Will Smith for the Oscar slapgate, but wants to be done, quote unquote, done with the scandal for good after controversial Netflix takedown. Let me say this really quick before we go into this article. Let me tell you, it ain't over yet. This whole thing is not over yet. It's not. Some people are like, oh, final nail in the coffin. Yay. Okay, it's a wrap. Great way to close the chapter. It ain't over yet, baby. Because you know for a fact Will's going to probably have to step out, or Jada's going to respond, or somebody's going to make some sort of statement on Twitters or the Instagrams or the Facebook shows or on a YouTube video. Don't worry. It's going to happen. It may not happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen. It most definitely will. Okay? Only thing is what's really crazy about this, the only difference between Will Smith and Chris Rock is that people were willing to pay hand over fist to hear what Chris Rock had to say. Will Smith had to dish that out for free. And now he's been on some crazy apology tour, doing everything he can. We're gonna be taking a trip down memory lane on those things here in just a minute, because I know some people are very much not for it, and all that stuff. Like, they just feel some type of way about this. Okay, but I'm telling you right now, we're gonna talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into this article. Actually, let me get into the super chat before it totally disappears. And thank you so much for your support, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats and all that. I really do appreciate it. Do not forget to hit that like button down below, okay? And of course, if you haven't done that yet, hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Kelly, for the $10 super chat. Will Smith is a perfect example of what happens to a person who's suffering from long-term narcissistic Sadly, it's exactly what the abuser wants the world to think, that they are unhinged crazy. Unhinged crazy. Yeah, selective outrage, basically. Yes, I can definitely see that. It is interesting to hear or to see the dynamics within this relationship. And the thing is that as much as everyone's like trying to go, oh man, he a simp. Let me say this. Whatever happened to a husband being a supportive husband? So being a supportive husband and getting, let's just say, whether they had an open, like they have an open relationship or not, I don't know about all that, but that's all just like in the rumor mill. And if it's true, then it's true. But I'm just saying, a lot of people have been going in and dissecting and destroying all this, destroying him, when I'm sure he's been doing his, I'm sure he's been slanging out here in these streets as well. And I'm talking about Will Smith. But what about him doting on his wife and being a good husband? I'm sorry to say that out loud. I know, God forbid I say something like that, just being a good man and just being a good husband. How does that automatically garner the disrespect and the, oh, he's this, that, and the third, or he's weak for trying to be honorable in his relationship with his wife? I'm just saying, if he's a saint, which I don't think he is, I just think it's very interesting that there are a lot of people in the with their opinions saying, "Oh yeah, he a weak mother lover." This is not what a man's supposed to be. I thought a man or a husband is supposed to be there supporting the wife, being their cheerleader, being their shoulder to lean on, their foundation, right? And vice versa. More than anything, I feel like the focus, as far as that goes, should be more on her and her lack, right? Her lack of being able to hold it down and being respectful and being a good wife. But then again, I don't know the inside dynamics in their relationship. I don't. But having that stuff out there like that, man, I don't know how Will Smith said, okay, babe, let's do it. Turn on the cameras. Let's do this. Okay. I don't know. But then again, let me go back into this again. And I agree that they're trying to, like, in a way, is trying to spin it to make it seem like he's a certain way when he may not be that way. He may not be unhinged and crazy. He may be the good guy that's just being a good husband within the confines of the relationship, of course, being supportive, being a good father, then getting screwed over, everybody and their mama talking all this BS, and then he just loses his mind. I don't know. Jeannie, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Okay. And Bernice Conklin just said, I would have stopped my husband too if he was going to hit someone. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. It's teamwork, because not every person, you're both supposed to lead. Okay, to a certain extent, right? Maybe one person has their foot before the other. Like, let me say this, because Roberta just said this. Nope, he was supposed to lead. He's supposed to set an example. In my honest opinion, the entire family was sharing August Alsina. I don't know that, and that's some wild ish. If that's the truth, that'd be some wild ish. But let me say this really quick. Yes, I agree. He's supposed to lead, but so is she, though, too. It's a partnership. Yes, of course, maybe one is leading more than the other, okay, depending on the dynamics of their relationship and dynamics of their household. But from what I understand, yes, he'll have his foot forward ahead of her, but that's why you have a partner. The partner's supposed to be there to be like, no, baby, no, sit down, we good, sit down, we good. She had choices that she could have made that night as well, and she did not do those. She is supposed to lead by example as well. He is the king, but he also has his queen, and they both lead together. That's just what I think. Okay. See, okay, you and I, see, this is the thing. We're not going to agree on this then, because the thing is that you can't just put it all on the man. That ain't fair. You can't. I don't agree with that, Roberta. It's a partnership. You got the king, you got the queen, one and the other. Sometimes they lead, they get forward, they do what they need to do. You have a partner there that is there to lead with you for the rest of your life. That is what, at least that's how I see it. Okay. I don't agree that it's only just on the man to lead. Yes, if you're looking in the traditional confines of things, sure, they're supposed to lead, but that's why you have your partner next to you, so that if you are faulty, they can pick you up, because a man gets weak sometimes. A man loses his way sometimes. That's why you have a partner to help you get back on track, or to help you have that conversation, those tough decisions. That's why you have partners in the world. That's why you never really see a CEO of a company make all the big decisions all by himself. He's got a team of people that are helping him guide through the whole thing. Sure, he's the face, right? Sure, he's the face of the company, but he has other people with him that are helping him shape that company. It's the same thing when you are running a household. No one person can just do that all by themselves. But still, I will say this though too. Shout out to all you single parents out there that are holding it down, because I don't know how y'all do it. But I will say this though too. Even the single household families, hopefully, majority of you guys are lucky enough to have a support system, to have that mother, like the grandma or the auntie or something like that, or the uncle, whatever it is that's helping you raise your family, right? So when it comes to the marriage side of things, let's just talk about traditional things. We're going there, guys. I'm sorry, guys. And hit the like button if you appreciate what I'm saying here, because I'm not trying to sit here and say anything other than it is equal playing parts. You can't have one without the other. You just can't if it's a dual partnership. A single Household is different than a partnership, right? Than a married household, a traditional household. And again, sometimes I hate to say it like this, but you got the king and the queen. Okay, I'm gonna say it. And we're not talking about the old school, like, King Henry. Okay, off with their heads. Now I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying you got your king and you got your queen. Let's just talk about it in the very traditional sense. Okay, it could be a king and a king. It could be a queen and a queen. However y'all live your lives, live it wonderfully. But there's still a partnership there. Some days the king steps forward and he takes the lead. Some days it may be different. Sometimes there's decisions that need to be made. You're talking together, making those decisions together as equal partners. Yes, there's certain things that in the traditional breakdown that the husband or the king will lead. Absolutely. I get that. And yeah, some guys will be like, well, that's what I said, and that's what we gonna do because I'm the man. That can get very messy. That can get very, very messy. But I do think that there's a reason why there is a partnership. Okay? You talk these things out with the people that you love before you make those big decisions or before you make those hard decisions. Okay? And I absolutely 110% believe what I'm saying. So I don't know what you're doing. But anyway, okay? Hey, we can agree to disagree, okay? But just don't be rude. Don't. Because we all have differing opinions on how we run our own households. That's just how I see it. Okay? I see somebody taking the lead, yes, but at the same time, you still have that person next to you, that partner next to you that's leading with you. It can't just be one person and that person's in the background. I don't know. I don't agree with that. That's all. All right? And I think the world that we live in now is completely different than what it was in the 60s. Okay, in the 50s and 60s. It's completely different now. You have dual earning households nowadays. Yes, if the world was on a string, it would be what it was back in the day. But shoot, the way that the economy is, the way that you have to hold it down, the way that bills are, the way how expensive things are out here in these streets, hell yeah. I understand dual earning households. So yeah, those things change. Okay. So anyway, and the thing is some of y'all are trying to take it and trying to turn it into something. Y'all making it more complicated than it actually needs to be. Okay. Some of y'all, I'm not saying all y'all, just some of y'all. Okay. Okay. That's it. There's two individuals that have two different ideas and two different thought processes. That's it. That's why you have conversations. That's why you guys make decisions as couples and lead forward. That's it. There shouldn't, and see, that's the thing. There should not be any sort of power struggle. There shouldn't. There should just be understanding, communication, and conversations. That's it. And then you lead. You move forward. Your kids are looking at both of y'all. They're not just looking at the dad or the mom. They're looking at both of y'all. And depending on how your household is set up and what the earning income and all that stuff is, yeah, sure. Most likely the person who's actually the breadwinner is making more decisions than the one that may not be, okay? Or that's whatever it may be. Yeah, I get that. But you guys are still making decisions on where you guys are going to go on vacations, what schools the kids are going to go to, so on and so forth. And if you're out here acting a doggone fool, let's get back down to that. If you're out here acting a freaking doggone fool, your kids are watching you They're not watching, oh, it's the lead. No, they're watching you. So if Jada's out here and say she's not the leader, she's still the mother and still part of that leadership. So if she's out here acting a doggone fool, jumping on a whole bunch of sausages out here in these streets, who you think the kids are just going, oh, that's just mom? No, they're watching her because she's also supposed to lead by example. So is Will Smith, period. Doesn't matter. You both are raising these kids and they're looking up at you, thinking you guys are the icons of what their lives are going to be and how they're supposed to be when they grow up and become adults. But if you're out here running around, screwing around like teenagers, they're going to look at both y'all, doesn't matter who's leading, and follow that example. Especially when you put it on a show and talk about that on a show. Come on, guys. So, but then again, I know we all have our opinions on how things should run behind closed doors. And that is totally fine. Hey, that's your opinion. This is just mine. Okay. Hold on, guys. I got some super chats and all that stuff here too. So let me grab those really, really quick. Allie K, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. I appreciate you. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, I see popcorn play. Andy is in the house. What's up, man? Shoot, you should if you want to hop on, if you're still watching, let me know. I can send you a link. Lex Lukes. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Can you see this? Can you see this? She is yes, and I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, and I do agree. I think she is somebody who was taking advantage, kind of taking advantage of the situation and trying to spin it on its end as well. I mean, she did some shows about this on her freaking Red Table Talk. Okay, that ain't right. Rudy, thank you so much for the 10. Shout out to the ladies saying they would have stopped their man. Being married has taught me that wives have power. Yeah, I don't understand. Man, Ruby, I don't understand why some people think that like women don't or like wives don't, but y'all do. I don't understand. I just don't get it. But okay, I guess we're going to agree to disagree on that, or I don't know. But anyway, our job as a wife is to protect our husband from themselves. Jada failed at that job. Yes, I agree 110%. Yes. She failed at that. Okay? And yes, it's vice versa too, right? The husband's job is to protect the wife as well, protect his home as well, even protect the wife from themselves, especially if they're out here acting a doggone fool. Okay? 110% I agree. Okay? 110% I agree. Hold on. Let me see. Want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Kimberly in Japan, thank you so much for the 300 yen. I really do appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so very much. Okay? Now, I agree. That's what they're there. That's what wives, that's part of the wife's job. Same thing as the husband's job. They have their part of the job as well. All right. But I do think that there is leadership. Okay. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, there is a part of it is like, where are we going? We're going this way. Right. Somebody has to lead the direction of the boat, for lack of a better term. Okay. For lack of a better term, you got to lead the boat. But you guys are you're both on it together. You're both working to make the things work out. Okay. It's like I'm traditional, but then not at the same time. But at the same time that I do think that when it comes to raising children, it is both y'all. when it comes to making huge life decisions, it's not like the 60s anymore where you're just showing up at, coming home and going, we're moving to Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? What? We're just gonna uproot our whole family to Tokyo? Yeah, we are. We're going right now. I don't know. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. That's just my personal opinion. But let's get into this, okay? Because I know it's a heated conversation where people are going to agree to disagree, and not everybody's going to agree with me, and that's totally fine. Okay, that's just not how I see things. But hold on, I got another super chat here real quick. Hold on. Where did it go? There it is. Leah, thank you so much for the 10. Some appreciation for keeping this conversation diplomatic as always. Thank you. I appreciate it. Not everyone does that. Much respect. Yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp. Okay? It's hard out here for a pimp. I'll be real. Or it's hard out here for a person who's grown up in that traditional breakdown. 2 parents, 2 loving parents. The father was led. The mother stayed. My mom stayed at home. I was very lucky with that. I was lucky just to have 2 parents. Some of us aren't that lucky. But there's a lot of things that I learned from that traditional breakdown. That's why I'm saying I'm traditional, but not at the same time. I'm lucky to have that, but I realize that it's more than just one person and they're making all the decisions. It's dual. It's both. That's how I feel makes things more even. Because there's a lot of women out here too. I'm going to keep it real. There's a lot of wives out here that don't make any, that in the old school way, traditional way of things, that don't even get to make any decisions, period. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't. Then they feel voiceless in their own household. That's not right. That's not a relationship. That's not a marriage. But that still does exist. I ain't talking about there's some 1960s old school ish still exists. Okay? It still exists out here. But, I digress. Let's get back into this article, all right, that I haven't even touched yet. So he says that Will Smith has not sent him a personal apology, okay, for what Will Smith did to him at the Oscars. So he says he still has not received a personal one-on-one apology from his former friend Will Smith over the infamous Oscar slapgate, and feels the actor's public mea culpa meant nothing. Now, we already know that Will Smith has been out here, okay? Has been out here doing as many apologies as he can, okay? As many apologies as he can. And as many apologies that any platform is going to allow him to have. And let me say, did it work for you guys or no? Okay. Let me put that poll up here. On poll, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. It's just a simple yes or no. So I just said, was Will Smith's public apology enough? And let me just actually, you know what? I'm going to fix that. I'm ending the poll. Sorry. I'm doing another one. Hold on. I'm saying, was Will Smith's public apology for enough for Chris Rock. That's what I'm going to say. So I said, was Will Smith's public apology enough for Chris Rock? Okay. That's what I have up there. It's really like, do you personally think that Will Smith's public apology, his YouTube video, the interview that he had on The Daily Show, do you think that Chris Rock should just take that and just take that as a personal apology or no? Okay. So it's tagged to the top of the chat. Okay. So the 58-year-old comedian sparked serious controversy this week when he reignited the scandal during a Netflix stand-up special, which we already know. Chris accused Will of having selective outrage during his show's finale and added salt to the wound by rehashing Will's wife Jada's affair. But a source close to Chris tells Daily Mail that it could have been avoided with a simple "I'm sorry." Now, I know we did talk about this before, okay? We did talk about this a while back. And if I remember correctly, I did ask a question kind of like, hey, do you think Will has already reached out to Chris Rock and just said, hey, man, lo siento? As simple as that. And I think a lot of y'all were like, no, I don't think he did that at all. Some of y'all said, no, I think I'm sure he's very sorry for what he's done. I'm sure he's tried to reach out, so on and so forth. Now, in this YouTube video, Will Smith did say that he tried to reach out to Chris. But we're now hearing, as of just now, we're now hearing that Chris never received any type of message saying, hey, man, lo siento, bro. And he's saying that all this could have been remedied by just saying, man, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. Interesting, right? Now, they said Chris never got a one-on-one private apology from Will, only the public one, which really meant nothing, a source close to the comedian insisted. In fact, Will has only addressed the situation twice, once on Instagram the day after the Oscars, and once in a video apology. Actually, it's 3 then. He's done it 3 times then. 3 times a lady. Yeah, he's done it 3 times. Because you remember, he did a thing on Instagram like a few weeks after where he's basically said, lo siento, okay? My bad, guys. And Chris, I'm sorry. But it was public. Then he did this video. Remember this ish? Remember? We all watched it together as a family. We're going to probably play a little bit more of this in a little bit. But he did this one as well. So that's dos. Then he went on to The Daily Show. And he did this, where he's like crying in ish. I don't know where's the part where he's getting all emotional, but I think it's like near the end or something. Maybe not. But when he's sitting there and crying, and even for me, I still feel like this one was staged. I'm sorry, I said it. Maybe I'm a little bit more of a savage with this thing, but I think that this one right here, this ish right here, was fabricated. I think it's fake and it's fabricated. But regardless, he did it 3 times. 3. So just put that in consideration when you're looking into this stuff, okay? Put this into consideration when you look into this stuff. Now, moving on into the thing. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So just press the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this. I just want to make sure because I'm working on this new thing here. But I don't think it was real. Debbie says, I think the appearance was real. I don't think it was real. I think it was extremely fabricated, and I don't know. It felt scripted. It didn't feel real. That's just me, though. You know? Maybe it wasn't scripted, let's just say, but I don't know. It didn't feel real, y'all. Okay? It just didn't feel real. To me, at least. Okay? So, moving on. Says, but the insider insisted that Chris's decision to rehash the scandal in his Netflix show had nothing to do with seeking revenge, but was rather a way for the comedian to get it all out and be done with it. And of course, secure $20 million for his first special. Let's not forget that too. Chris wanted to get this out once and for all and be done with it. This was very cathartic to him. I'm sure it was. You could even hear it in his voice. He was upset. Okay? He was very, very upset. And TJ, I'm reading y'all comments. Let me say this really quick. No, let me put this in here. No, I am not anti-Will. I am still a Will Smith fan. When Bad Boys 4 comes out, I will be first in line to see that movie. Okay? Trust and believe. Okay? I am a fan still. I'm just very disappointed in what he did. What he did was very, very wrong. I am not anti-Will. I wasn't really enjoying Emancipation, so I didn't finish it. Oh, no, I know you're joking. But I'm glad you said that because I want to make that abundantly clear. I'm not someone here sitting there going, oh, how dare, shoot. If Jada was in a movie that was actually good, I would actually go and watch it. You see what I'm saying? If she does a girls trip 2, I'll watch it. Okay? But I'm a fan of all these guys. I'm just disappointed in what he did. But I also think that we also do need to let it be and move on. But it's just hasn't gone through its process yet. It just needs to get through its process and be done with it so we can move the F on, right? But it ain't done yet. Like I said, he reopened the wounds again. But it was his first public outing, international outing since the actual slap. So he has to address it. He has to secure that bag. But still, But let's see. The comedian certainly didn't hold back when it came to dredging up the Slapgate scandal on stage. Instead, he doubled down on his attack on the A-list couple by bringing up Jada's affair, which we already know about, August Alsina, to a shocked audience, both live and on location, which, by the way, I just realized this. I didn't realize this before, or I didn't say it on the other show. When he did this live performance, he did it in Jada's hometown. Do you know that? He did it in Jada's hometown. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So, again, the fact that he's sitting here saying that I have not received a I'm sorry yet, personally, is absolutely crazy. Now, I want to show you guys a little bit of this. Let me see. And I don't know where it is, but of course, again, he has done this. He has done this 3 times. 2 on camera and 1 on IG, where he basically has been apologizing profusely for doing what he did. Now, the question I have for you guys is, have you guys forgiven Will Smith for what he has done? Is this enough? Okay? Is it enough? Or does he need to apologize more? I say the only person, because what really matters, let me just go back to this headline real quick. The one person that matters the most is Chris. That's the only person he should be worried about. He shouldn't be worried about the rest of the world, because no matter what, people are still going to go and see his movies. People have already forgotten it. We've already been obsessed and focused on other stories and other tragedies and scandalous things that have been popping off in the news. This is old news. This is really, really old news. A year, that's 100 years, right? In the news circuit. The real person that he should care about getting on and getting over it is Chris Rock. And yet Chris's people are claiming that he has not received not one personal apology from Will Smith. That's a huge problem. Especially if you look at it in this way. Because if you look at it, it could be a situation where Will Smith maybe doesn't realize that this is more of a personal matter than a public matter. He's too busy trying to secure the bag than he is actually trying to secure or rekindle a friendship. Sorry. Y'all trolls are hilarious. Some people don't watch the show. Have mercy. Y'all funny. Anyway. But you got him more concerned about the bag, it seems, and his movie deals, and still being Big Willie, than actually rekindling that friendship or mending a messed up situation. Him just going up and saying, "Hey, to you, Chris, I am sorry." Maybe that could have been the thing. Whoa, whoops, wrong one. Whitney just said, 2 birds, 1 stone. Maybe you're saying 2 birds, 1 stone for doing the public apology. And by doing the public apology, he's thinking that that's just going to get to Chris. Maybe, right? Maybe that could be it too. Or it could be, let me do this public apology. It'll get to him. I'll get back in the good graces of the general public, and I can continue securing them bags. That's probably what he was thinking in his head. Like, hey, I've already apologized. I put it out there to the world, to the internet streets. Everybody and their mama knows now. It's all up in your face. All you got to do is open up one of these apps and you'll see it. I apologize to you, Chris. Maybe. But then again, this was very personal. And maybe all Chris needed was hey, man, I am sorry to you personally. No cameras, no nothing. None of this extra views and whatever. Forget making money. Forget securing the bags. Forget trying to save your brand. Let's just boil this down to onto a human level. And just give me the apology that I deserve. Personally. That could be it too. The public didn't need an apology. Chris did. There it is. Buddy, thank you so much for the 5. Will should have met with Chris with a gift and said sorry. Absolutely. Something. Something. Get him a really expensive bottle of wine or scotch or something. Okay? Something. But instead, he goes straight to the internet and does these videos. Again. Crazy. I'm trying to see where the part he actually apologizes to Chris, but let's take a listen to this.
Do something. No. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. And say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and
move back a little bit.
tarnished. I made a choice on my own. It really breaks my heart to have stolen. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient.
It's interesting that he realizes that I'm sorry isn't sufficient for Questlove, but I'm curious if he realizes that an apology to Chris Rock, I'm sorry may not be sufficient enough as well. But again, he could be going over to Questlove and talking to him. Maybe he has better access to Questlove. Chris may have just put up a whole wall and said, F you, I don't want to talk to you. I have nothing to say to you. Just leave. I want my distance. That could be it too. But let's take a look at this.
Chris, in your acceptance speech, I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony.
And Tony Rock's dope, by the way. I've interviewed him. It's in my archives and all that. He was on my show years ago. Dude is fire. Dude is dope as hell. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to play the rest of this, but as you can see, okay, you can see that he is reaching out, or he did reach out, but he's reaching out to the people. I don't know. Again, I don't know how these guys are reaching out to each other. I don't know if he has his personal phone number and they're texting each other memes and stuff on random days or something like that. I don't know how Hollywood works, how the celebrities do it. Maybe he was having his people contact his people so that they can talk and all that. I don't know. But if Chris Rock says that he did not receive a personal apology yet, then I believe him. But I also do think that Will Smith is telling the truth here. I do believe that. But it could be a thing where Chris was like, I don't want to talk to you. I want nothing to say. I have nothing to say to you, bruh. Leave me alone. Blocking him and everything. And of course, Will's going to do everything he can to reach out to an old colleague because he messed up. But that's really hard. It's really hard to just a week later want to pick up the phone and talk to somebody who just smacked your face on an international stage, embarrassing you, embarrassing the people that are that surround you, embarrassing your business, your brand, etc. That's hard. Getting forgiveness can be very, very hard, but accepting forgiveness can be even harder. And when it comes to this, we see right now, because I believe that. I do believe. I feel like this video here is the most genuine we have seen. That's what I think. It's the most genuine that we've seen when it comes to his responses, his interviews on the Daily Show and all that. I don't think that. I feel like this right here in the very beginning. I am sorry, Chris. I apologize to you. I apologize to your family. I apologize to all the people that surround you, because I know that that affected so much more than I even realized. And I'm sorry for that. I believe that. And I do believe that he did reach out. But I think that Chris is being blocked. I think Chris is being protected by his own team. And I'm sure if he has his personal phone number, I'm sure he said, hey, nah, I'm not picking that up. Boop, ignore. I'm good. I have nothing to say to you. Because like I said, it is hard to accept. It is hard to get it. It's hard to get an I'm sorry, an apology from somebody. But it can be really hard to accept an apology from somebody, especially when they've done something so terrible. So we see here, apparently from his people, they're saying that Will Smith has not reached out to Chris Rock. He says he has. I don't know, guys. To me, I believe him. I believe Will Smith. I'm not going to sit here and say that Chris is lying. I just think that Will is trying to jump through a lot of hoops to try to get his apology to Chris. Chris ain't having it. Chris don't want none of that. He has better things to do, I think. Okay. But one second, I got a message I want to check really, really quick. Yeah, let me hold on. I got some super chats too. Let me grab those really quick. And I still have that poll at the top of the chat. Please go and check that out if you can. That would be greatly appreciated. Go and vote as well. I already said this. I did. So, buddy, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Hold on. There we go. Pedroski. Thank you so much for the 5. That particular Oscars was the first time a brother was producing the Oscars. Will Smith hurt more than Chris Rock. Will Smith hurt more than Chris Rock. Yes, I agree. 110%. Yes. It was the first time it was a full Black produced Oscars. It was a big moment. And then this slap happens. It was bad. He destroyed a lot. Right? He messed up a lot, y'all. It was no bueno. Mimi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Swiss francs. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I agree that there's so much more to this than that, right? Let me see. Sorry, I'm checking this video. Oh, yeah.
Why?
I already said that. Yep. I already played it, but thank you, Zanita. Thank you, Zanita, for the message. I appreciate it. But yes, again, this is something that, according to Will Smith, he is saying that, hey, he said when he's ready, he will reach out to me. So it all goes down to who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth at all. That's what it all comes down to. In my opinion, I do believe Will, but I also can believe Chris Rock at the same time, because maybe he's being blocked. He's being protected by his team. He may be ignoring phone calls, etc., and just not ready to accept apologies right now. And I've said this earlier, I'll say it again. It is hard out here to receive. It can be really hard to ask for forgiveness, and it can be extremely hard to accept, to give forgiveness, to forgive someone. And I can see that what's going on here is that, man, he's angry, and he just hit back hard. He doesn't care anymore. They are not friends, and he made that abundantly clear. So, my heart breaks for this, because, you got two really great creators, right? You got two really great artists out here. You got two really great artists having a hard time now in their own ways. You know for a fact that Chris is not happy. Chris is hurting. Okay. Will is well. I mean, I'm assuming Will is as well, but he has to keep moving. He's done the apology tour again. He's done here, and he went on here as well. And I know that he was on there to promote a show and promote his work as well, but he still was on trying to say, like, yo, I'm really sorry about that. We're talking about it because we have to. I made the mistake, so on and so forth. It's sad, y'all. It's really, really sad. Okay? But you got two talented individuals having beef. And I'm thinking that Will Smith definitely wants to bury this and move on. But Chris Rock just unearthed that ish and said, no, I'm not forgetting right now. You can try all the BS you want, but I ain't done, because I just got started. Actually, I think he's done. I think Chris Rock is done talking about it. What's done is done. The only other time he'll ever talk about this is 20 years from now, when he's on some random podcast and he goes, oh yeah, I remember that time when I was smacked in the face by Will Smith. And then he'll tell a little anecdote, and that'll be it. But as far as Will and Jada, they're going to be doing everything they can to save face, because they have a brand. They have a brand. And they don't want to tarnish that. Okay. But let me get to this poll here really quick. I said, was Will Smith's public apology enough for Chris Rock? And 333 votes in, 86% of y'all said no. 14% of y'all said yes. I think it's going to be it's going to take a lot of work it's going to take a lot of time for Will and Chris to be on the same page as being cool with each other. But then again, forgiveness can work in mysterious ways. Forgiveness can happen in very fast ways as well. Something may happen where somebody says, oh, okay, life is too short. Why hold this grudge forever? You know what? We're cool, Will. You never know. That could very well be what it is. All right. We'll see what happens here. But Zenita just said on Facebook, thank you so much for the comment. Chris was wrong as hell for making a joke about Jada being bald after she had publicly spoken about her illness and how hard it's been for her. Chris was dead wrong, my opinion. Can't make fun of someone's illness. Now, I understand that piece, and I agree with you 110%, but he claims that he did not know about the alopecia. I guess that's all we can take it at this moment. I think that it was a small joke. I don't think he was going after her with alopecia. But then again, I could be absolutely wrong. But from my understanding from other sources, people in his camp have said he did not know anything about this, period, about her alopecia, about her illness. Okay. But I don't know. I don't know. Okay. And I've heard about it once. And I think it was because she talked about it on Red Table Talk. And that's the only time that I ever heard about her alopecia. That was before. Okay. That was before. And the thing is too, though, you had Will Smith also laughing. Hold on. I'll just show it to you guys again. He was laughing. He laughed at the joke. He chuckled. He laughed. It was funny to him. And then it wasn't anymore when he turned over and looked over and he saw her rolling her eyes. And then suddenly he got enraged. Again, I think maybe he just said, whoops, I just messed up. Oopsies. I just got caught. He laughed at the joke. He was laughing at the joke. You saw it in the photo. If you watched the video before, keep my wife's name, the whole thing, before all that happened, he laughed, y'all. He laughed. Then he looked over, and then he was like, and he walked up like angry as hell. Like it was just like night and day, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on. All right. So maybe he was doing that just to save face because he didn't want to hear a lecture in the car on the way back home in the limo. Maybe. I don't know. But that's so crazy that he was laughing. And then suddenly he wasn't laughing no more. He found himself on the stage smacking Chris in the face. And now he is on the apology hunt trying to get forgiveness from Chris Rock. I don't know if he ever will get it. Okay? I don't know if he will ever get it. Sandwich, what's up? She says, Chris not allowing Will to apologize is Chris standing his ground. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah. Oh, Zanita says this too. Yeah, laughing when you're mad is actually a natural reaction while you're processing things. I've laughed after I got hit and then proceeded to hit back harder. Yeah, I've been there too. Like he just did that. Okay. You know, that is true. That is very true. But I don't know. I don't know. To me, it looks like he's laughing and having he's actually having a good time. I don't know. I don't know. A joke like that, I don't know. Something like that, I don't know. I don't know how somebody would react, because the way he reacted looked like he was having a good time and he was laughing. But then again, I could be wrong. To me, no matter what, yes, okay, whether the joke was lowbrow or not, he shouldn't put his hands on Chris Rock. That's just where I stand. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, nah. No disrespect. Just nah. What I saw was something different, but that's my perspective. Like, you know, and everybody's entitled to their perspective as well. Okay. But again, I will say this before I wrap everything up. It is really hard to seek forgiveness, but it also is really, really hard to give forgiveness. It's very hard. And when it comes to this, I feel like this is going to be an ongoing saga for a long time. I feel like it's going to start dying out. After this week, it'll start to die out unless something else big happens, unless he steps forward, Will Smith or Jada makes some public announcement or something like that, which they shouldn't. I think that they need to keep this internal, keep this behind the scenes, try to work things out as adults between them, not out here in public. I really do think that the more they keep bringing things up, the more it's just going to stay out in the public. The more that they do a public statement and all that BS, the more us content creators, the news, et cetera, is just going to be putting that out in the forefront of everything. That will be the focus and the obsession. And I don't agree with that. I think everyone, hey, guys, shut up. Chris did his thing. He's walking away with the W. He definitely won this. Let it be what it is. If you're seeking to finally bury this hatchet and move the F on, do this behind closed doors. And not behind closed doors in that 3 o'clock and I'm faded. Not that stuff, okay? Keep your hands to yourselves and your things in your pants. Just be respectful, apologize, and move the F on. But I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all coming through, being a part of the conversation this morning. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. They got a lot of work to do. And like I said, I don't think it's over yet. I guarantee you Jada or Will going to come out with some sort of public statement. And I'm telling you right now, if they're even watching this show right now, because they love them some Pascal show. I'm telling them shut up. Keep quiet. Don't say not a damn team. Don't say anything. Focus on the conversation that you need to have with him. Don't worry about us. We don't care anymore. What's done is done. You've done your apologies to the public. We've heard you. Chris said his thing. Chapter is closed. Now, we didn't need any of that. Now it's time to focus on the relationship and whatever you have at hand with each other. Make it be friendly, get that apology, and keep it moving. Okay, we need more of our brothers and sisters together, working together in solidarity rather than apart. This is how we get stronger, by being together. So hey, work it out, find common ground, get the forgiveness, receive the forgiveness, and let's move the F on. Okay? Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all so much for being here and being a part of this show. It really does mean a lot. I will be on a little bit later on this evening for sure. There are some other stories and stuff that we need to talk about coming up very, very soon. So appreciate all y'all for being here. Again, hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it scream out your name. That would really, really mean a lot. All right? And do not forget to hit that subscribe button, baby. Okay? Hit it. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets. So hit it. Por favor. Be greatly appreciated. Anyway, it is time to get going, guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next show. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.